Good afternoon, and very warm welcome to Pinhole Quilting. I'm Liz. Pete's looking at me. Are you okay, Pete?
Yeah, I was just checking your mic was going to be on.
Just checking my microphone's on. Microphone on.
Good.
Oh, is it plugged in? It's plugged in. Bonus. He's off again. So, good afternoon, welcome. I'm Liz. My husband Pete is somewhere around. You might hear him opening a door. He's probably still got his microphone on. And I hope that wherever you are in the world that you are enjoying life and quilting and being creative. And for many of us, it's a great respite away from the day-to-day cares and concerns of our lives, whatever they may be. And for a lot of our customers, that is exactly why they got into quilting. And if that's the case for you, then, and if you know anybody else who's in that position, it's a really good thing to encourage people to do. There was a lady yesterday, and she just spent a little bit of time that I met, who spent a little bit of time in hospital. So I hope that she's feeling better. But she also said that the project she's working on, she'd gone to the class yesterday up in Birmingham, and she'd gone to her class because she knew that if she did this straightforward design, it would give her something else to focus on. And I think that's a really good thing actually about patchwork and quilting, is that it gives us something to do outside of those other areas of our life, so that we can really enjoy being with other people who are creative too. And it was lovely to see Joy Edgington yesterday. Now, Joy is somebody I've worked with quite a lot in the past. We used to run classes on long arm quilting up at the Cotton Patch. And Joy is continuing to run from the Shirley Sea Cadet Centre up in Shirley and Solihull, and does a great job of encouraging people to get into patchwork and quilting, and also to develop their skills over a period of years. I mean, some of our customers are very long-serving customers who've really developed into really excellent quilters, and it was lovely to see them yesterday. So, Pete, we've got a sale on, haven't we? Should we talk about that first?
Why not?
It's Black Friday. It's a Black Friday sale, but we've got it going on until next Friday. So if you would like to take advantage of our 15% discount of many accessories and threads, not the machines, really sorry, but now who was it that was looking for a Pro Stitcher recently? I'm so sorry. It doesn't include that, but it includes some of the major accessories. So that means things like, Pete?
Things like table drawers that you might not have considered if you've got a frame system or a sit down. There are very useful drawers that can fit in both of those things for storage purposes, and you can use them on the frame from either the back of the frame or the front of the frame if you don't have space from the back.
That's right.
But yeah, 15% off almost everything as far as threads and accessories and rulers and ruler bases and electromagnetic channel locks. If it's in stock...
Electromagnetic channel locks as well.
Yes, but we've only got one Amara, one in stock, and one Avanti or Simply 16, one in stock.
Yeah, we don't keep much in stock of those, do we? But
no.
They are a great addition to your machine. Yeah, I was looking at, in fact, who was it? I was looking at some quilts yesterday. It's a brilliant thing to be able to do electromagnetic channel locks. I mean, you can use them when we've got our Pro Stitcher system. That is also something we can do on there, because we've got horizontal and vertical channel locks. I've just booted up the Amara, and so we're going to be playing with some rulers, showing you some of those. But yeah, if you are interested in taking advantage of discounts, then why not? If you don't have some of our lovely feet, this is a little selection of our feet in here. There's feet as well. And there are obviously all the threads, lots of yummy threads. Maybe this is the time to dig out some gold thread, or if you haven't got any gold thread, invest in some gold thread for your Christmassy projects with a thread net like this over our gold king cone, mini king of the superior threads. It's a beautiful thread, this. Perfect for Christmas projects. Stitches really well. So that's a lovely one for this time of year. And in fact, somebody was doing some demoing over here, weren't they? Or was that me last week? Could be me. That was me. Anyway, it was lovely. Works really well. So what we're going to talk about this week, I wanted to update you on some of the classes that we're running. We thought it'd be really nice to kick off the year with a bit of inspiration, a bit of inspo, a bit of quilt inspo, if you will. And so in that mind, we have got 2 Zoom sessions. So it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in the UK or abroad, wherever you may be, you can book onto our Zoom session. And if you're interested in listening to both Bethanne, who won in Quilts, Festival of Quilts 2021 with her amazing Our Ladies, with her joint quilt collaboration with her husband, Olivier. And it's an amazing quilt that no wonder it won Best in Show. But she's also won on the modern quilt category, 2-person quilt category, and various other awards, including at the Mancuso World Quilt Show, she won with an apparel, beautiful jacket, which we saw, didn't we? I mean, the finish on it is absolutely superb. I think Olivier and Vindulka are very similar in this respect, that when they do something, they do it to a really high level. I mean, Olivier used to be a pâtissier in France and like a master chocolatier. So, you're talking about people who've got high level of artistic skill and execution. So what would Vindulka will be talking about? Well, she will be talking about the fact that as someone who's won at the Festival of Quilts and other quilt shows, but also as a quilt judge, it's about what does it take to win at a quilt show? What are the things that judges are looking for? It's not necessarily for somebody who wants to enter, but if it is, if you do want to enter, this would be a great lecture to watch because we've got both aspects. Okay, Pete?
Yeah, so I mean, Vindulka is a quilt judge herself, so she can talk from both angles, from actually making it and from the judging aspect. But even if you don't intend to put a quilt into a show, it could be really interesting, so that when you're looking at the quilts at a show, it might help you understand why certain quilts have won or come second and others haven't.
Absolutely. I think it's a really important point because, quite often you can be surrounded by people looking at a quilt and it might have won best in category or whatever. And some people will be going, well, I don't understand why that won. And actually this would help inform you. Really useful thing to have and understand. Second one, and that's on the 20th. Vindulka's on the 20th of January. So in those dark winter months when you've got nothing else on, why not watch a nice little Zoom lecture with Vindulka? There'll be a chance for questions and answers at the end. Okay. Now, the next one will be Jo Avery, and Jo is an amazing quilter. Has the most fantastically upbeat quilts. Does a quite versatile in terms of both machine quilting and hand quilting and embellishing with threads, lots of different threads. But she's an Oracle ambassador, so those threads that she uses are both hand quilting and machine quilting. Now, Jo quilts on a Moxie XL. So she came down a month and a half or so ago and did an in-person lecture demo. So we thought, and on the basis of some of the feedback from people who couldn't make it here, how nice would be if she could actually do a reprise of that lecture and then have a questions and answers session for those people who are attending it. And that will be Zoom again on the 27th of January at 7 p.m. If you'd like to book either of those sessions, then they are on our handyquilter.co.uk website and you can watch them there, and we'll have them available for a period of a month afterwards on catch up for those people who have attended or signed up to the Zoom presentation. You do need to sign up for the Zoom presentation to be able to watch it afterwards.
They're both at 6 p.m. UK time, is that correct?
No, 6 p.m. for the 20th, 7 p.m. for the 27th.
Okay, so there's an outside chance that even some of our friends in Australia might be able to watch them if they get up very early in the morning.
Got up really early. Crack of dawn. Crack of dawn. There's another expression for that, but I won't say it on Facebook. So that would be early. Anything else, Pete? Have we got anybody and we want to say hello to?
Yeah, we've got a few people saying hello. Val Brooks, great. First online.
Great. Hi, Val.
Jean Twycross.
And Jean. Yes, Jean. Gosh.
Carol up in County Durham.
Carol up in County Durham. I'm just a bit at your quilt over there. Fantastic.
And Karen Vipond on Anglesey, who's managed to catch a 10 minutes sneaky live session with us today.
Sneaky live session, Karen. Fantastic.
Does that mean you're working, Karen?
No, we don't need to know that. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so those sessions you can book up online, and anything else that you like. Black Friday sale. Take advantage of our Black Friday sale, 15% off. Most of our threads and accessories. There are some exceptions, but most of them. Mark has gone through and diligently added them to the discounts. They'll be available for a whole week. So don't hesitate. Stock up now. This is a great opportunity. Okay, we're going to do some live demos today. Was there anything else I was supposed to mention? Can't think there was. Oh, we won't be here next week, but we can say that at the end. So I thought it would be nice to demonstrate some of the rulers that you might have perhaps thought about getting. Let's have a look and see what they all do. So we've got some, I brought out from the displays, I brought displays of Angela Walters rulers and the Bethanne Nemesh Rulers. I've also got some of Bethanne's books. I can see them over there. So I can bring those over, or Pete can bring them over in a moment. I just thought I'd start with this lovely little Petunia. Petunia. It's a lovely name, isn't it, Petunia? Petunia is an Angela Walters ruler. And on the back of Angela's rulers, you've got a little explanation. This machine quilting tool is as pretty as a flower. There we go, perfect tool for creating flowery shapes, curvy flower shapes. Combining them, you can make borders. It's a nice, easy to use tool, partly because the size of it isn't too big. For those of us who've got perhaps smaller hands, it's useful to have something that's not too big and something that doesn't cause you to unbalance. So let's just talk about the settings. Settings for rulers, first up, is we change the foot. We use this deeper ruler foot. It's called the sure foot. Carolyn, it's not a quilting foot, it's a sure foot. And that's not Carolyn that teaches here, that's Carolyn who's just got an Amara 24. It's a ruler foot like this, fantastic. It was a game changer when it came out because we used to use this foot for rulers, and it was a bit of a heart in mouth moment when somebody had never used a ruler before took to using rulers on the machines at class with the not deep ruler foot.
So it's just to show the difference in the depth of the foot here.
Yeah.
I think you can see that's
more
more than double the height. So it stops the ruler from hopping under that needle.
Hopping under, hopping over, quite important. When your needle comes down on the ruler, it's a bad moment in your life. Very bad moment. So let's put that back in that box. Put that there.
A few more hellos before you move on. Joan Arnold.
Joan Arnold. Oh, Joan. How nice. Hello.
And Anne Rose. You've been in touch with Anne this week, I think.
Oh, gosh. Anne. Anne, it's gone straight on the hips. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It has been lovely, actually, hasn't it? A real treat. Thank you so much. You really didn't have to, Anne. But Hotel Chocolat is my favourite, Pete.
I have to say, all we've got now, Anne, is an empty biscuit tin, which will be very useful for storing things in, but they didn't last long.
It was very much appreciated, and you are very welcome anytime. Let's just talk about Amara Pro Stitcher. When we boot up on this lovely screen that we get with the Amara Pro Stitcher, it boots up with the gears. If you press the refresh button at the bottom, it actually shows you the gears moving, because that's represented by the crosshairs on the screen. And the centre of those crosshairs is where your needle is. And this little home key at the bottom, it enables us to know where it's going to stitch. I'm going to turn off the gears. They go purple. They still move on premium, they still move, but actually this is free motion mode. So in order to go into just using the machine, because this is for free motion, I'll just minimize that. I'm left with this nice little Amara screen, which is very similar to what you get if you don't have Pro Stitcher. You have a little screen that looks like this. So same controls. And on these controls, we've got manual. We select how many stitches per minute in manual. We can adjust this. And we've got presets that we can go to. So that might be slow, medium, and fast presets. And if I wanted to adjust it and perhaps go at a slower speed on manual, I can save that using the save icon. And now the next time I go to these, I've now got my quick reference for those new presets. We've also got on here regulated stitch. So we've got precision or cruise. Precision is you stop moving the machine and it will stop stitching, whereas cruise will continue to stitch or cruise along of whatever number of stitches per minute is shown in the box. So for ruler work, I put it at 50, maybe 75. Let's start at 50. And 11 stitches per inch is my preferred number of stitches per inch for glide, which is what I've got. Other screen icons on here, we can change the lighting, settings, tools and information. So this tells us how many stitches we've ever done on this machine, just under 1.5 million for this demo machine. And we've got a tie off stitch, so we can press that when we want to do tie offs. Needle up, needle down. Do you want it to stop in the up position or the down position? For ruler work, I would suggest the down position. The next one over is the tension. So if I adjust the tension dial, which adjusts the top tension, it changes the number on here. If I were to use the bobbin, what's it called?
Estimator.
Thank you, that was the word. Bobbin estimator. The bobbin estimator is on 0 at the moment because I'm not using it, but you can actually wind a bobbin, record it, and then if you've got other bobbins that are similarly wound, you can switch it on to when you put a new bobbin in, and it'll tell you before it runs out. And this is a very handy hand wheel. I'm just going to do needle down, needle up first. This is a hand wheel, so if I want to, I can actually just use that to go needle down, needle up, or pick up the bobbin thread or whatever.
There is, of course, a hand wheel at the back of the machine, but that's a very long way away on an Amara. Too long for your short arms, Liz, I think, to reach it.
Yes, exactly. I might be a long armer, but I don't have long arms, so this is very useful to have a hand wheel on the front. Hand wheels come on the front on this tablet or screen for both this one or for all of these. Amara 20, Amara 24 and the Infinity 26. So the other important thing to use when we're doing ruler work is a ruler base. This is a very firm ruler base. I really like this design because it locks in place.
We've left the protective film on the top, but it's clear acrylic.
Just clear acrylic. Yeah, this is just it's a demo one, so we don't bother taking it off. It clicks in place like so, and now I am set up. I've got my surefoot on, I've got my ruler base, I've got my setting for cruise, 50, 11 stitches per inch, and stop in the down position on the needles. Ruler-wise, these have actually got a surface on the back which actually kind of grips the fabric.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'd use handy grip.
All the Angela Walters rulers have the grip built into the rulers themselves, so you don't need to add any handy grip or other product to the back.
That's right. Now, I think we'll be able to see this thread. Do you want me to change the colour? Should I pull through?
No, that'll be okay. It's a light on dark, so that should be okay.
Okay, the first thing to think about when you look at rulers, partly this is dependent upon your experience with rulers, but the first thing I look at is the reference lines. Are there any handy reference lines that I can use to create whatever design I'm aiming for? There, probably more easily. I've got some horizontal lines. These are very useful for alignment. If I'm doing something against the edge of a block, I'll use this one at the bottom. And they've also got 45-degree lines, and there's one vertically at the top. They are really useful for alignment. So say I wanted to do something that ran along the bottom of a block, and this is, I'm going to use this as an example by using this grid fabric. This is the Handy Quilter grid fabric. We do have some of this in stock. It is under fabric on our website. And it's just a really useful fabric to practice, particularly ruler work on. So I would, for example, line up the bottom black line and my vertical black line like so. So I've got my vertical on that vertical dash line, and I've got my horizontal on this horizontal dash line. And so then I'll get it nice and square to my quilt. Now if you're left or right-handed, it does make a difference, but I would probably start, I prefer coming towards me, I don't know why that is. So, because you're 1/4 inch away, because it's a 1/4 inch foot, one of the things about this doing ruler work is you kind of need to remember, you need to remember that when you're using rulers. So even though when you look at this ruler, you think, oh, you're miles away from the edge of where you're going to start. Actually, this is pretty much the start point of the square, the little grid. That's a micro tie-off that you get on the Amara. And away we go. And in. You don't have to go fast. Now, I'm going to stop there for a second. This is where, in this area, I'm going to say this quadrant here, is where trouble can happen, particularly if you're going in this direction. Because in this point here, you're kind of pushing against the ruler, it's fine. But if you're not careful, you go flying off here. So you've got to remember to pull it towards you, and then pull it towards you again, and then into there. And there we go. There is my little fleur. And I'm just going to cut that off, but actually, on the back of this, I thought this was quite nice, how you could do these. It's almost like a little cloud.
That's good.
Just good, isn't it? So we could do that. We'll go up here.
Almost every ruler has some design ideas printed on the information panel on the back.
Put on your side tension. And when we've got the ruler base on, sometimes these can clatter against the edge of the ruler base. So what we do is we put a piece of fabric there, and then we can attach it to the clamp in case it starts clattering. One thing to remember when you're using rulers as well is position your body in different positions. So you don't have to just stand here. If you just stand here, you might find it really awkward to reach around the back of the machine. But if you angle yourself, you can actually reach around the back here. Some of the machines have got fixed handlebars, so they'll all be like this, like the Moxie and the Moxie XL. But the nice thing about the Amara is I can angle these in, and I can angle that down too. This one, because I'm right-handed, I keep this one up, but this means it's closer to the machine, to the fabric, and it makes it a little bit easier for control. So here, going around the back. Another thing to remember about doing ruler work is it's a guide, it's a template. It's not like using a router or a router. So you can't press too hard and press down too firmly on your ruler, otherwise you won't be able to move it. Your ruler base is underneath here, and the harder you press down on your ruler, the harder it is to actually move the machine. So there's an element of a balance in what you're doing. See, this is raising up. I would definitely use a piece of fabric there. And I might even, I think I'm just going to do a little half one over here. One, and then come back. Just use it like this, or even just go halfway. I don't know. Be as creative as you like. We've also got a little inside one that we can use. So if I just go, I'll finish that one off. So to finish off, you can do a little micro tie off, needle up, pull a length of thread from the cone, don't disturb these stitches here, move away, come back, needle down, needle up. There's your bobbin thread. It's black, so you probably can't see it on Facebook, but it is there. And then you can just cut it off level, and it's a nice, neat finish. There we go. I'm not saying it's my best creative work, but that's how you use it. I'll leave you to do the creativity. Any questions on that, Pete? Anything? Any comments?
No questions. A few more people to say hello to. Isabel, yeah. Isabel in Spain.
Oh, hi, Isabel in Spain.
Helen and Jeff at the Cloth House.
Yay.
Who says thank you for the help with the tension assembly. We got there in the end, didn't we, Helen?
Yes, we got there.
Yeah, so Helen was having a few issues with her tension assembly, so we sent her a new one, and after a little bit of toing and froing, we got that fitted, and she's up and running again.
There we go.
So that's
you are
good.
Now a proficient and professional tension assembly installer.
Yes, very good. And I saw on Facebook, Helen, that you've had one of your quilts showing at the Manchester Art Gallery. Did you see that post, Liz?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
I've been out a lot this week.
She recently showed her commissioned sustainable quilt at the Manchester Art Gallery. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, fantastic.
Amazing.
That's absolutely brilliant.
And Sheena Stubbs finally got here. Christmas decoration exhaustion has set in.
Oh, my goodness. That can be exhausting, Sheena. Well, I'm glad you got there. I'm glad you got there. It was lovely to see. Sheena posted on her Facebook this week her beautiful greenhouse. It made me want one. It's full of beautiful flowers. Yeah. One day, Sheena, that will be me. So, who else? Anybody else?
Val Swatsky in Calgary.
Oh, wow. Calgary. Val, must be amazing there at the moment. I bet it's a little chilly. It was really chilly here. -3 this week. At home. That was cold. Wasn't it, Pete?
That was cold, yes.
So doing inside, little mini clamshell. Clamshell we always do. I like an inside clamshell. That feels very safe and secure. We always do clamshell. I suppose I shouldn't just do petunia. I'm loving petunia. With clamshell, we always do from the bottom up so that you can hit the top of your clamshells from the previous row. Just a useful tip.
And Sue Such is online as well.
Oh.
Late as always, busy prepping Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes,
Always a
of
day
course.
later.
Yeah. So Sue's got, American family, I believe, or, children who live in the States. And of course, Sue spent quite a bit of time in the States. Yeah. So there's Petunia. Some great rulers in the Angela Walters Armoury. We've got Shelley, which has also got different size of clamshell. So you've got to remember, it's always 1/4 inch more than this. So clamshell on the outside and clamshell on the inside. So again, we would do this one by lining that up. On this one, we would do by lining that up like that. There we go. So Shelley is clamshell heaven. And you can do all these kind of things. This is lovely. Continuous line. Then we have Sid. Yeah. Getting into the Sid, we've also got, I have to have a drink. I feel my throat going. I feel like it's one of those clip-on moustaches. This is a lovely little bracket. Then we've got inside, very useful inside, and lots of vertical lines for alignment of the previous sewn lines. I mean, it's not until you use a ruler that you realise whether it's well designed or not. And both Angela's and Bethanne's, and I would say also Handy Quilters, are all well-designed rulers with very helpful markings. Sometimes you get rulers without any markings on, and actually they're not as useful at all. So here we go, this is our little bracket. Line that up, and away we go. And then to get on the inside of here, you have to break your thread. If there's a little gap, you can get inside, but not if there is no gap. With the no gap ones, it has to go underneath, and then we can do straight lines without worry. And what's useful with this is they've got black and they've got white dash lines. The basis of this being that, of course, if you've got doing it on light fabric and you've got light markings, you can't see them. If you've got dark fabric, you can't see them. So here we can see. So
do you know what? I hadn't noticed that before, but that's a great idea.
It is. Yep. Because a lot of the use of this ruler will be all about alignment. So then we just secure that. Right. So you don't have anywhere else to go except the channel. That lines up with the previous one, and away we go. Then you can go to there, but I'm only going to go to there. And and line that up like so. Beautiful. And then if you want to, I mean, we've got, see this again, this is so useful. You've got 45-degree lines here. So if you do need to sort of line that up and go down something, I mean, again, it's not until you actually use these that you realize how useful some of these things are. These gradations of sort of sections, so that when you're going along, you've got references without having to mark anything. So these dash lines, very, very useful. So that is Sid. I'm going to cut that thread first. And then come back. Let's just talk about a couple of others. And then we'll get on to Bethanne, because loving the Bethanne ones. I know a lot of you are as well, those people who've purchased the Bethanne ones. Sid's also got a really nice straight line on the outside as well. Smileys, probably one of our more popular ones, isn't it? Is it just the name?
I think this is a triumph of marketing because it is by far our most popular Angela Walters ruler. And I think it's all about the name and the shape.
Smiley.
And I think if they packaged it with the ruler the other way up, it wouldn't be so popular.
Miserable.
Exactly.
Smiley. There you go. So again, it's just really useful bits. I'm not going to stitch all of these out, but look, I mean, I've got, if I show you this on the cardboard, on the brown, what you've got is the foot goes into here, you line this up against the edge of a block, and you've got a lovely arc. This is perfect for doing on the inside of blocks, where you just want something really simple. And again, on the outside here, again, we've got that. So this is where I might line it up, and I've got these little lines here. These will actually touch my my block. So if I just show you this, I don't know whether you can see this, Pete. I'll just highlight this here with a pen.
So, hello to Graham. Hi, Graham.
Hi, Graham.
And Noreen says, how do I get one? Which country are you in, Noreen? Let me know that. Joan says, I need more rulers. Well, now's the time.
Black Friday
15%
sale.
off, and we're pretty well stocked on rulers.
Okay, a couple of things to point out here, because this is where rulers make a difference. Do you see, it's possibly a little bit difficult to see, because it actually is black. The other dash lines are black and white. But this one, I'm lining this up with the edge of this vertical line, that hits there, so that my 1/4 inch will actually hit on the point. And I'm doing the same here, so my 1/4 inch hits on the point. And when I do this from here to here, and I move it up, this black line here is not a perfect echo of this, because when you stitch it and you move it up, this is the sewn line that you will match it up to when you move up.
Very good.
So the things like that, Angela Walters has thought about it.
So Noreen's in the USA. So Noreen, if obviously Handy Quilter, your local Handy Quilter retailer, or directly from Handy Quilter, you can get rulers from there. Angela Walters rulers,
yeah,
I'm sure, just do a search. You can get them.
Quilting is my therapy.
Directly from Angela. Yes, quilting is my therapy.
Elvira, the curvaceous Elvira.
And Liz is going to talk about the Bethanne Nemesh Rulers in a moment, and you can get those directly from Bethanne herself in the States as well. Yes. But in the UK, we're now distributing those, so you can get them directly from us.
Yeah. Here's an example. I think I might use the cream fabric next time we do a demo. I've got Elvira here, but look how cool this is. Okay, I've got a straight line there, I've got a straight line here, and I've got a straight line here. These match up to these are 2-inch grid. So when I put this on here, I actually can just literally, in fact, if I just mark and move it down, there we go. I get this as a curvy line all the way down without having to move anything. I just line that up with my squares.
Great.
Yep. Perfect.
So this fabric really is good practice fabric. It's available in black and in white. Liz mentioned earlier we do sell it in the UK, and that should be 15% off as well. It's already good value.
Have a look at the other ones. There's videos for these, and Angela goes through them all. Plus, Bethanne does the same. Bethanne Nemesh Rulers. For each of these, and we've got Bethanne's, we've got the long lily lines. I'm going to go from the top of the price list up here. Long lily lines is based on a French curve. That's a fantastic one. It's great for using it as the base for your spine, for feathers, for filler, for then filling in. And one of the things that Linda showed us is that you don't have to use that exact length. If you move it up, you can kind of adjust it to fit. So this is a really good ruler to have for those incredibly long feathers that you might want to, that you might aspire to.
And you've also got pivot points on some of these rulers, including that one, don't you?
Yes, you do, up here.
So you could put a pin in there.
Yep.
And then spin the ruler.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't move. So that you end up with a spinning around a block, centre of a block, for example. So all of these have got videos, and they're fantastic. I know that you've put an order in for some more people. I think we just added this one, but I love the video on this one because it's a prime example of show me a video of how to use it, and before you know, it's like, wow, that is so good. It's about understanding what these lines are, and the fact that that sewn line that you've just done, when you want to echo it, is actually the stitch line. That's that solid line there. Straight little arcs, all in a very handy little tool.
So Noreen says that she has a sit-down machine. Would these be good for edge-to-edge designs?
No, this is more for custom. I mean, I guess you could do it for edge-to-edge. You could do it insofar as if you wanted to do edge-to-edge, you might create some structure and then do some filler around it. But no, these are more for your custom blocks and for things like whole cloth.
So to see more information about the Bethanne rulers, go to Bethanne Nemesh's website, which is called
White Arbor Quilting.
White Arbor Quilting. And she's got instructional videos, I think, on all of her rulers.
She does.
Mary, the practice fabric is on our website. If you go to handyquilter.co.uk and just type in fabric, it'll pop up as one of the options, either in white or black.
It will. Yeah, I mean, one other thing, just on the subject of rulers, is, sometimes we have the same arc, like these. These are the same arc, but on one, it's on the inside, on one, it's on the outside. Sometimes you'll find it easier to use an outside, and sometimes you'll find it easier to use an inside. These subtle ones are incredibly useful for smaller echo or for smaller sort of inside of blocks. And these lines. I do like Bethanne, the colour, because it just makes it really easy to see on so much fabric.
Yes, her rulers have the sort of green tinge to the acrylic, which is quite a nice feature.
And these little notches, great for alignment when you're doing 1/4 of an inch. So, have a look at the videos, see what you think, and have a play. And if you've got rulers, just get them out. Just have a play with them. Get some fabric and put together a sample. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to mention today. Have you got anything else?
I think it's worth just mentioning Marilyn, who we heard from this week with her full-line stencils.
Yes.
We had some very sad news from Marilyn, who, with her husband Mike, are the creators behind the blue full-line stencils, which we have on demo over here, also on 15% offer at the moment.
Yeah.
We had a very sad email from Marilyn earlier this week to say that sadly her husband Mike passed away last week, which was a real shock to everyone involved. So we really feel for you, Marilyn, and hope that you're with family this weekend, and that will help you start to get over the problem.
Yes.
The issue.
Yes, it was obviously a real shock, and we met. It was lovely to meet them. The last time we were in Houston, we met up with Mike and Marilyn, and we just sent our condolences. So really, really sad. These things can happen out of the blue, can't they? And it absolutely knocks everybody for six. But just say that we're thinking of her.
Absolutely. Okay. So rulers, lots of
Yes.
handy quilter rulers as well, of course. We didn't look at those.
Yeah,
We've got lots and lots.
lots of lovely rulers. Ones that you pivot, like Pete was saying, you can use these as a pivot. It's called spinning wave. Some of the jade ones, I think we've got a few of those left. And yeah, just a fantastic selection. I know sometimes when people are starting out on quilting, they don't know what to go for. If you're not sure, then just post up on, if you're a handy quilter owner, you can post on Long Arm Learning Curve, either the international or the UK group, and just ask some other people who've been in your position before for some genuine advice as to what they found useful. It's a great resource. Don't forget the Facebook group, Long Arm Learning Curve UK or Long Arm Learning Curve International. It's perfect for handy quilter owners who want to share their experience, and it's a really good resource. Make the most of it. We hope that everybody's been enjoying the Susan Manry classes on Pro Stitch and Pro Stitch Designer as well. Those are ongoing every month, and I know people have learnt a huge amount from those. Unfortunately, because we've been out and about so much, fortunately Karen and James has been looking after the group with Susan, but unfortunately I haven't been able to watch the education myself, so I've got a bit of catching up to do over the Christmas period. Right, anything else, Pete, or are we all good?
No.
We can't be here next week because we're away, aren't we?
We're away next week.
Yes.
Going to see my son and the Christmas markets in Germany where he lives.
Yes, and daughter-in-law, and that'll be lovely to see them.
And it might just be my birthday as well.
Oh yeah, it's Pete's birthday. Nearly forgot.
Better remind you, Liz.
It's in the diary.
And for those of you celebrating Thanksgiving, have a fabulous time with your families.
Yes, yeah. All right, all the best everybody, and take care, and very happy quilting to you all. Bye now.